Mike, Tiff, I made y'all co-hosts, so you'll be able to mute and unmute. Oops, I meant to Facebook message y'all. And I text y'all. Can y'all hear me, Mike and Tiff? Let me see.
Yes, we can hear.
Yay! Wait. Can I hear y'all? Let me see.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're good. Woohoo!
All right, all right.
Yay! Well, thank y'all. We kind of got spoiled. John's like, how did you get them to do another Zoom?
I know. What did Sherry promise you that I don't know about to get y'all on back to back like in?
We're not telling. We are not telling. It's big, John.
Sherry Lynn promised that if we did this, you guys would hit number one within 2 years.
Yep. For sure.
So we're just putting it out there and keeping you accountable.
Team, you heard it.
Oh, no. I mean, we're excited. Mike and Tiff shared with our diamond leaders, and they just were, ranting and raving and had so many ahas. So I was like, it's not fair for not the whole team to get to hear from them since that Zoom wasn't made public for everyone. So this one's recorded. Everyone can be on and hear their wisdom. And we're just excited to have you guys share because I know I didn't know your guys' story, Mike and Tiffany, and Don, you didn't know their story.
No, not at all.
And just to get to hear you guys really just, surf and turf, and then at your house, our minds got blown in a lot of ways. So a lot of Mike and Tiff drops.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited to have you guys tonight.
Well, we're super excited to be here. And, I think about the next group of Surf and Turf winners coming in this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic weekend of leadership. And then, I know tonight we're going to, keep pushing through. Today's the 28th, right? So it's the 28th. We got today, tomorrow for the, Cyber Tuesday and Cyber Wednesday BOGOs. So we have those going on. So take advantage of it tonight, all night tonight, all day tomorrow. It does end tomorrow night. And then the last day of the month, you got to push through and hit your rank promotions. Take advantage of everything out there, all the Christmas cash bonuses and the conference experiences. So you definitely have sense of urgency to really take action today, tomorrow, and the last day of the month. And it takes me back when Tiff and I, we were talking right before this Zoom came on about how we, weren't the kind of people that were set up for success in life or, the smartest people in the world, college dropouts. She says she was the smartest in the world. But, we didn't have the odds stacked against us, just in the world's eyes we did.
Yeah.
We were college dropouts and didn't have that path to success, but we stayed consistent. We focused on spurts, and, man, we went out there and took action every day.
We sure did. And I tell you, people probably looked at us and they were like, yeah, they're pretty good, but they would have never expected, I think, where we are right now. And I think the difference is that Mike and I knew from the beginning that we were meant for more. And we knew it. We didn't know how. There's a lot of times that we sat outside, I think, on the porch in our Kentucky house, and we were like, God, what tell us, what are we doing? And
like literally, God, please tell us what we're doing. Not his name in vain. Like, please, Jesus, tell us what we are doing in life.
And I think a lot of times we did that, and we struggled like a lot of people. And I think that that's a good thing. We don't know. Me and Mike don't really tell that story a lot, but it's true. We went through a lot of stuff that you guys are probably, some of you on the call, maybe going through right now. That struggle of, man, I can't pay the bills next month. We did that. We did that. But the difference is that we didn't stop. We didn't stop. We knew we were meant for more. We worked hard, and we kept working hard, and we kept focused. We knew what the end goal was.
I think something that we don't share a whole lot, and I won't go into all the details tonight, but something that I think it gives some people some hope. And when we talk about, you always hear me, people call me the motivated guy, the action guy. I'm always like, go, 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 because that's what I know solves a lot of issues in life and business is if you go forward, You're not looking backward. You're not looking sideways. You're not looking left. You're not looking right. You're going forward. You're taking action on what you need to do. But we know sometimes that life gets tough, right? You don't know what to do. You feel stuck. You feel stuck in life. You feel stuck in business. You freeze up. And we've been there. I'm remembering back, we actually relocated back to Tiffany's hometown, Corbin, Kentucky, which was not something she wanted to do. But we had this big idea. We were going to do these things and become big successes. But that was a big stress, and I think about some of the decisions we made, and we got ourselves in debt. Some of it that, she didn't even know about some of it. And it was it was a crazy time in our lives. And I remember that she took the action to go to revival at church. And, she just had this mindset of, I just got to go. She felt like God said, just go. And she took that first step of going to this revival at church. And she went every night and every night and every night. And all of a sudden I was like, well, I need to go to that. And we looked forward and we took that. And, I'll simplify the story down, but we continued to go there every night after night and just were obedient, for lack of a better term, right? And then all of a sudden we made some promises to ourselves. We said, God, if you'll get us out of this situation, amazing things can happen, and we'll be consistent, not only in, our business life, but in our marriage and other things. And you'd be amazed. We just kept taking those little steps forward consistently of action. And 8 months later, our lives completely changed. And during that 8 months, we had to be consistent. We had to take action. And that's what you got to do. You got to go out and be consistent, take action, and keep going forward.
I tell you, we were actually, and he didn't tell the amount, but we were over $65,000 in credit card debt alone, which is a lot. And we did not see a way out. And we had 7 credit cards, and give or take, and 7 credit cards with like 30% interest on them each month. I was calling the cards once I found out, but I could have given up on everything at that point. I know a lot of times that you probably feel the same way, that I could just give up. I'm tired. Life's happening. And, but we didn't. I chose not to give up on the marriage. I chose not to give up on the business. I chose not to give up on life in general. And I knew that we could come back. And that's where we were. So we have been down. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is, John loved this, is that, activity will create courage, but inactivity will create fear. And I think when I first found out about that debt, I froze and I couldn't do anything. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how we were going to get out. I couldn't do anything. And I think sometimes we take that moment, but if we stay in that moment, fear can overcome us. So if you're in that moment right now, the best thing for you to do is take action. And by taking action, whether it's go out and hand somebody a Blitz card, or if you go out and wrap somebody, that's what we did. We took action in our business. We took action in our marriage. We took action in every part of our life, just little steps. And as you take those little steps, the belief and the courage that you get from just one step at a time is huge. You're building this business right now. It works. And it works is incredible. We have this incredible, crazy wrap that you put on, and 45 minutes later, you see this tightening, toning, and firming. It's incredible. We know that the product works. But sometimes we get nervous, right? And we freeze up and we don't know what to do. Well, obviously, if we take action by going out and just telling people, like right now, these promotions going on, this BOGO, promote your promotions. Are you guys promoting those? Are you out promoting those on Facebook? Are you promoting those to people via text? Are you talking to people? Are you letting them even know that there's a promotion? You have a business here. And, Mike talks about it and I talk about it as well. In order to build this business, your job, there's a job here within building this business. How crazy is that, right? But there is a job, and that is the steps to success. The steps to success. You should be doing it monthly. That's your job. Your job is, my goal is to do the steps of success at least once a month, because I want my business to grow. If you want your business to grow, you have to do the steps of success. And the steps of success, how do you do that? You do that by having parties. You do that by having Zooms. You do that by messaging people. You do that by getting the wrap on people. It all comes together, and all those little steps will create courage. Sherry would probably vouch for this in saying that, when you started, you were probably a little scared that first party, or you were probably a little scared the first time you put the wrap on yourself. But when you saw that the product worked, you probably got a little bit of courage to say, hey, I'm gonna tell somebody about this. And that's what you guys have to do. You have to go out and share this product.
Keep going. I'm listening here. I'm like enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. This is. I get to zoom off, right? I can just chill out and I love, because it's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true. It's your job. We complicate this business. We complicate life. We complicate relationships. We complicate parenting. We complicate everything because we try to figure everything out. And the answer to almost everything that I found in life is take action. Mm-hmm. Just take some kind of, it doesn't have to be the right action. That's the great part. No. Action, Tiffany didn't say take the right action and it creates courage. It says action creates courage. So you can do things wrong and you learn from it and you get better because you went out and actually did it. And here's what I would add to what Tiff just said. Even if you've never in your It Works career enrolled 4 LCs and 3 DTs in 1 month, that's okay. Yeah. Like, that's okay. That should still be your goal. Don't make your goal 1 distributor and 2 loyal customers, right? Keep it the same as the system is that works, that builds rubies, that builds up to diamonds, that builds up to double, that builds all the way up to the top of the compensation plan. Because that's the same thing that everybody talks about. See, there's power in unity. When you unify yourself, when you unify your team, you separate yourself from those who are out there kind of trying to figure out their own thing. And to add to what Tiff said about what kind of action are you taking? Another word comes to mind, and I don't think I ever really use this word, but it's engagement. You got to engage with people. Yeah. You've got to go out and communicate, right? You can't just post one time on Facebook, hey, you want to try my product, and never do it again. Right? You have to engage. Your first post on Facebook is just letting people know you're open for business. But if you want to go out and gather customers, you got to engage with people. You got to comment. You got to talk to them. You got to create a relationship. You have to have some back and forth. It's like a game of catch. And I'll use this analogy in a couple different ways, but what you're doing by just putting a post out there on social media, that's a great thing, but that's just letting people know, hey, I love to play catch. That doesn't mean anybody's going to come play catch with you.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm a baseball fan, so, I'm going to use this analogy. But what you have to do is, that's you throwing the ball. You've got to go out and find people you want to throw the ball with, right? You got to engage. The only way to do that is to take action. Send a message to somebody, like their page, comment on something they're doing, and do it for the very real reason that you like what they're doing. Don't be not authentic. Don't just go do it for the business sake. Now, sometimes do we engage with people when it starts with business, but be genuine, be authentic, talk to somebody, get to know them, go to the influencers all over Instagram and like their stuff, comment it, hey, cool workout video that you just did. And then turn around, don't pitch your product, just say, love your page, right? Connect with people on a real intimate level and you'll be amazed at what you can get back. But what it comes to with your team, right? The playing catch with your team, you can't do it for them, right? I'd love to do this for you, right? I know John and Sherry Lynn, Tiffany, we all would love to just do this for you. I see Brianne on here. She would love to do this. She could put you on her back and walk, man. She'd carry you. She could, but you could do that for maybe 1, but you put 2. It's not easy. You put 3, you can't carry 100. So all of us have to take our own responsibilities for life, for bills, for family, and we got to go out and take action. So what I would recommend that you do is find people who want to run with you right now, right? At some point in your life, it wasn't the right time for It Works, right? It wasn't. If it was, you would have joined 16 years ago. You didn't either know about it. You didn't know about the product. You didn't care about, your tightening and toning and firming, or you didn't look at the opportunity, or you weren't being an entrepreneur mindset, or maybe you weren't in debt. I mean, you didn't think about doing something else because life was comfortable or life was easy, or maybe life was so uncomfortable that you were doing 5 jobs. You never even had time to look for something else. But right now is the time for you, and it works right now. November 28th, right now is your time. Why? Because there's, a couple hundred of you on this Zoom right now on Tuesday night at 9:47 p.m. listening to a couple people pour into you and hope that one thing they say will help you take some action. So to me, you are at the right place at the right time, as cliche as that may sound, because you made the decision to be there. People you spend your time with better be on this Zoom, or they better rewatch this Zoom, or they better be playing catch with you. You see, every conversation you have with somebody on your team that's already a distributor, it shouldn't just be, hey, have you heard about these BOGOs? Yeah, great. Well, let's go get some loyal customers. Not you go get some loyal customers, not me go get some loyal customers. Let's go get some loyal customers. Let's go find a new team member. And if they don't come, you still have to go do it. Yeah. Because that's like playing catch. That's like throwing the baseball to somebody and they catch it and then they hold it. And then you run over to them and say, I'll take the ball back. And then you run back and then you throw the ball back to them. They sit there. They don't throw it back to you. And then you got to run over to them. After a while, that gets kind of boring. It's not really a fun game of catch. It's a game of throw.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not the most entertaining or productive thing in your day. So when it comes to your business, take the time to find out who wants to run with you right now. Don't write people off forever, because life happens, things happen to all of us, and it always will. So what you've got to do is find the ones right now that want to run. And then next month, a couple of those may not be the people who are running with you, but it may be people that weren't in November ready. And I think that, Tiff, when we went out and committed to our goals and our dreams and our desires, man, amazing things happen when we just started leading by our own actions and not dragging people with us.
I tell you what, that is so good, is that we led by example too. Pulling people along is tough. What is that quote? It's easier to give
birth than to raise the dead.
Yeah. So a lot of times people are just dead, and it doesn't mean they're dead forever. It means that they're dead right now to the business, that life has happened and they've got some other focus. It doesn't mean that they're done. It means you love them, but you don't spend your time working or trying to pull them. You work with people that are ready to work with you then and now. Me and Mike were watching this was it a documentary interview?
Yeah, but something like that.
Something like that. And it was Mark Cuban the other day, and I just thought it was really interesting. And he said, the one thing you can control in life is effort. And I think that that is so profound that I actually took a note on it. So the one thing that you can actually control in life is effort. See, life's going to happen. And, your kids are going to, if you've got children, your kids are going to get sick. You're going to heartbreak. Christmas is going to come. Valentine's Day is going to come. Birthdays are going to come. Sports are going to start. School's going to end. School's going to start. Bad days are going to happen. Great days are going to happen. Life is going to happen. But in the midst of that, one thing that you can control is effort. And you can control your effort and it works. And I think that is so crucial, is that you can't control your team, but you can lead them.
Yeah.
You can't control them, but you can lead them. And if you're not leading them, guess what? There is less chance of them following. Okay? So, that's about as clear as you can get. So I recommend that you focus in on that and you show your team how to do it, because this business is easy to do. And I think it was Bree that said that on one of the Zooms, like right after the surf and turf. And she said, this business is super easy to do, but this business is super easy not to do. So you just got to make your choice. Is it going to be, easy to do and you're going to do it? Or is it going to be easy to watch other people do it and you not do it? That's the choice. And right now is an incredible time to be part of It Works. And it's an incredible time to take part in promotions. I love the promotions that are going on. BOGO is one of my favorites. I remember when it came out for the first time, Mike and I were talking about that the other day, and it just blew my mind. Like, I'm a shopper, and when I see like that you can buy something and get something, the same thing free, I got to buy it. I don't know what to do with that. And I think that so many other people apparently don't know what to do with that either, because if you can get a 4-pack of wraps free, that's incredible. Or the cleanse. And I love our products. So the difference is that you've got to promote the promotion. You got to go out and you got to promote the promotion. You got to tell people what's going on.
I love that. I was thinking about, you said the Mark Cuban thing, and
I love that, don't you?
I think it's so true. You can control your effort and your energy, and it made me.
We did that a lot of times when we weren't doing as good as we thought we could do, or as good as we were trying to do. We could control our effort. So it reminds me of the Jim Rohn of "I'll beat you."
Yeah.
So
maybe you've not heard that one. So this is a great mentality. This is the mentality that Tiffany and I have had for many years. Now, part of it's because she's extremely red personality.
That's like 100%.
Like hammered red. You can't get redder.
But I'm yellow, green, and blue too.
This is a truthful Zoom that's being recorded, so we're not going to allow Tiffany to lie.
And Mike is super red.
I'm super blue. It's all I am. I have no red in me.
He is fully red.
But
in a different way, or like yin and yang.
You guys are getting the real Mike and Tiff tonight. Pretty
We're
open.
Super tired from our trip for Thanksgiving.
We've not slowed down since the last Surf and Turf. We had some guests in from another country that we won't name that will be coming on board in the future. And it's just been nonstop. So I've earned these bags under my – actually, these are double bags, right? These are like the bag on the bag on the bag.
Don't tell us your guest's name or anything. Just tell us what language we need to learn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not going to fall for it, John.
It's not American.
It's not American. It's not English.
But Mike, you had some lip and eye cream on one of the live videos that It Works did. I don't know, it was one of our promotions. You pulled it out from your desk, and after that I go, John, are you using lip and eye cream? Mike Potillo uses it. You're not using it. So then John told me the other day, he's like, you'll be happy. I'm a week straight of using everything you're telling me. So I'm like, why aren't you using lip and eye cream? You have bags. Mike uses it.
She's like, you need it on that wrinkle right there.
Yeah, just that one right there. And it's amazing. The other night, I don't know what I don't know. Rocco said something. He's like, Daddy, you're wearing makeup. And I'm like, have we been to an event? Have I had to have makeup on? What? I have no idea where he got that. Obviously, he's watching something that I have no clue. But back to the example, because I think this is really good for every one of you to hear. And this has been a mentality of ours for a long time. And you know, the example is this. If you are really good at something, if you are great at something, you can do, 1 out of 10, you can hit the ball. Let's use baseball, batting average, right? You hit the baseball 3 out of 10 times, 4 out of 10 times, you're one of the best to play the game, right? You miss 7 or 6 times every time you come up to bat. So you're still one of the best to ever play the games. But if you can hit the ball 9 out of every 10 times, I can still beat you. Because you will hit 9 times out of 10. You'll swing the bat 10 times and hit it 9. But you know what our mentality, what we do? We swing the bat 100 times and we'd hit it 10.
Yeah.
So we beat you, right? You did 9, we did 10. Because we made up in numbers. We went out there and swung more times. So ultimately, I beat you.
What we lack in skills.
What we lack in skills, you can make up in actions. And that's a mentality that if you will have, it doesn't matter, how good somebody else is. It doesn't matter how much success somebody else is having. You just have to go out and outwork them, outgrind them, have more hunger than them. And you may say, well, man, but John and Sherry Lynn, they got it all going on. They're building a new house. They got the perfect kids. I followed their Facebook, and I can't take pictures that way. And great. Guess what? You can still beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat them if you're a lousy picture taker, if you don't have a nice house, if you don't have, as good looking husband as John is, right? You can beat them. Mm-hmm. Because you can go out and have grit, determination, just like them, and you can do more than them. You could ask Sherry Lynn, how many prospects are you talking to a day? And whatever she tells you, do 10 times that.
And that just happened, Mike. One of the girls on our team, she's on here, Melanie, she's a double diamond, and she had signed like 20 customers this month. And I'm like, what is she doing? Like, I've signed 4. Like, why is she, I'm like, she's outside me. I don't like that. I go, and I said, what are you doing right now? She's like, I'm messaging 100 people a day. It's like, oh, well, my 20 a day is not.
That's right.
Compared to your 100. Okay. You're outsigning me,
It's like, the way that I describe it is just that big funnel, right? It's my funnel. It's not a good funnel, but it's a funnel. And you got to put a lot of people, a lot of prospects, a lot of messages, a lot of texts, a lot of emails, a lot of parties, a lot of posts. You got to put them in the funnel on the top. And then at some point through the process, a lot of people aren't going to say yes. A lot of people aren't going to show up. They're not going to show back up. But a few of them will drop through that real skinny part of the funnel. And those are the people that for right now, for the next 60 days, the next 90 days, the next 100 days, they're ready to run. But you've got to put in so many others to find those few. And, we can speak from our experience. Let's face it, it's not easy to go out and talk to 100 people, but it's worth it. And I think that one thing that Tiff and I heard a long time ago that really helped us was one of our first mentors. He said from stage, it wasn't a personal conversation at the time. We became very close with their family, after we stayed with them a while. But he said at the time that rank, the top rank in that company was called national director. That was just the name of like our ambassador. And he said, if I told you had to hand out, we had a yellow brochure back then. Sorry, I keep driving your face. Sorry. It's like right there. Sorry. But I talk with my hands. What do you want me to do? We had a yellow brochure, and he said, if I were to tell you the moment that you hand out 10,472 of these, you'd be national director. How fast would you hand out 10,472? And of course, what do you think everybody did in the room? Look, I'd do it tomorrow. I'd do it tomorrow. No, you wouldn't. That's what he looked at. He goes, no, you wouldn't. Because you know what? I bet there's not one national director in the room that's ever given out 10,472, because you can get to the top by doing a lot less than that. But you got to have the mentality that you're going to go out and take massive action. So the point was, if you will have the mentality that if I give out 7,777 Blitz cards, I'm going to be an ambassador. And like write that on the wall, track it, and every Blitz card you put out, just knock it off, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. And you're doing it, and you're keeping track of it, and you're going. All of a sudden, 237 Blitz cards in, your funnel's getting big. You may only get one loyal customer or one distributor, but you got 7,777 to do. All of a sudden, in 6 months of being consistent with that, I'm not talking about 7,000 a month, 7,000 a day. I'm not talking about crazy numbers. I'm talking about that's your number. You have to hit your ambassador, right? All of a sudden, you'll have so much going on, you'll never reach 7,777 Blitz cards, because you'll have team members. They're going. They'll have the same mentalities, and you will be able to work with them by continue leading them down the road. You don't go into management mode. The worst thing you can do is go into management mode.
Wow. Yes.
What?
You just took me off guard. It is the worst thing you can do is go into management mode. I have seen so many people do that. And
Jackie's got the idea.
Where?
Drinking wine on
Zoom.
Hello,
What are we missing out on? But I've seen people do this. This is a trap. It is a trap to go into thinking that your team needs you so much that you stop everything that you're doing for yourself, that you stop building. I think that, is it the Diamond at the boot camps, Diamond Night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at the end of the brochure, I know that that Mark talks about on stage, and he talks about the booklet. It talks about a third, and a third. And it talks about a third of your time should be spent on your own business. A third of your time should be spent on self-development, a third of your time on team. So Mike already talked about the third of your time on team, and about how the team needs to be like your top 10 or your top 20 that are working, not just anybody that's grabbing for your time and sucking the life out of you, but that. And then a third of your time should be blitzing, rapping, repeating, and getting that steps to success done each month. And then a third of your time should be personal development, where you feed into yourself good stuff. now that's something that we could talk on really quick, is the personal development part.
Go ahead.
Don't you want to talk with me?
I am. I'm just going to
Okay,
take your
so one thing that Mike and I did, and I think this really transformed us, it's not necessarily about a book, because there's great books out there. Jim Rohn's one of my favorites. I love The Magic of Thinking Big. I usually don't promote a lot of books because I don't believe in promoting a lot of books, but I think The Magic of Thinking Big is a hardcore book that I would give to my kid. So I think that is a book that if you're looking for something to read, it's definitely a book that talks about dreaming bigger. And I think that is something that we all strive for. So if you're looking for a book, anything Jim Rohn, man, it's got some wisdom in it. He's one of our favorites. I love Zig Ziglar. He's incredible. Maxwell's good. But Jim Rohn, he was a life changer for us. So I still to this day go back to stuff as far as he's concerned. But there was one thing that we did, and that was we wrote down 10 things each, personal things that we wanted for the future, whether it be
affirmations or goals or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So 10 things as far as like me, I think the first time we did this, it was, we read a book on it 4 times before we decided to actually do what was in the book. And so if we did that, I know a lot of other people have probably done that too. But we read the book, and then finally we were like, you know what? We should try that out and see if it really works. Mm-hmm. So we did, and we took 10 things. And mine were, just for an example, it's kind of funny, but one of mine was I wanted to get my bikini body back. I just had a baby, and so I was like, I want to get a bikini body back. I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better wife. I want to take opportunities when they knock. I want to know what's going on. So you write these things out in present tense, but you do them as though that they've already happened. And Mike did his, I did mine, and then we recorded it and we listened to it for 6 weeks straight. And the very end of it, we decided to put, what was it? Two goals that were just like so outlandish. We couldn't even feel like we could touch them.
Yeah.
They were just, what is it? That purple cow, not even the purple cow, like the,
it was more than, it's like the immeasurably more. It's more than we could imagine.
Yeah. It wasn't even imaginable, but we had to put it on there. We're like, this is so stupidly awesome. We need to put it on there, but we just couldn't see it happening. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so the idea of it is that we would listen to it and our subconscious mind would take it on, not just our conscious mind. So we would hear it at first, and then all of a sudden we're brushing our teeth. It's like 2 minutes. It didn't take long. And we would brush our teeth, and you forget it was even playing. You just play it and go on. And was it within 3 years, the crazy goal? 2 years. 2 years. Within 2 years, the stuff on there, the stupid stuff, had came to fruition. Mm-hmm. And we had no idea how it would get there, but like our minds actually worked. If you look in the Bible and stuff, it talks about that. It talks about how your mind can work for you or against you. And for sure, it straight up worked for us. And I think that that's a great way of self-development as well.
Yeah. One thing I would share, and I would say maybe one of the last things I'd share, because I don't know how long we want to keep this Zoom going. It's 10:05 on our side. I don't know how long this is scheduled, so I'll let Sherry Lynn and John do that side. But here's what I'd say. I'm looking at she left. One of the young ladies on here had her kid. She's holding her kid as she was watching the Zoom, and that's the concept of balance, right? I hear this concept. Yeah, Kelly, it is David Schwartz, Magic of Thinking Big. Balance is a myth. No such thing. Balance is one of those things it's a unicorn. It's a unicorn. Our daughter turns 9 Friday, and she's having a unicorn party. And to me, a unicorn is that mythical creature.
Yes.
That's balance, right? Work life, family life. It's all seasons. It's more inclusion. You've got to figure out when you put your phone down for a little bit, but also you've got to get your kids included in your goals and your dreams and your desires. You got to get them dreaming big. And, if you're building a house, you want to buy a car, you want to pay off debt, man, make it around that and celebrate that and involve your whole family. It doesn't mean that your spouse has to get involved and do the business. It doesn't mean your kids have to get involved and do the business. They just need to be included in the business in general. So, you know, I love it. I love it works because we are a lot of families. I mean, our kids, I mean, tonight, I mean, you know, if I could show you the video camera of Rocco, I mean, the kid is wild. He's going crazy. We got to try to get him to bed. And it's like, get him to bed before this phone call. And Sophie wants a story thing, right? We don't have it all together. We don't have it all figured out. I'm constantly trying to put this phone down and putting it down and trying to figure out. And what I want you to think about is you got to be wherever you are. And that's good advice to give, and it's easy to give. It's hard to live. And what I would say is you got to have big enough goals, big enough dreams, big enough desires that what you're spending time away from is worth it. But then the people that are in your life, make sure they're included in the process, in the journey, so they understand it, so they're a part of it, and just go make it happen. You know, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're not a good mom or you're not a good dad or you have guilt or you don't spend time with your family. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that so many times people try to figure out, how do I make this work? You know, the way you make it work, you take action, you include people in it, you set some dedicated time, obviously, for your family, set some dedicated time for your business. You have a schedule, but you've got to know that there's not just an easy magic dust that we can sprinkle over you to make you successful, to make you the perfect parent, the perfect spouse, the perfect business owner, the perfect ambassador. There's no such thing. And I think that as you read these books, you'll start to realize that if you got big goals, got big dreams, you're thinking big things can happen if you just take action. But the one thing I think that we all have to work on and we all have to get better at is inclusion, and understand that it is a process. It is something that your kids can get excited about. You can, what a great way to end the evening. And I sit there and look at Kelsey. She's holding her little one, right? There's so many of you that are holding your kids. Stephanie's got her little kid there. And I think about that and I go, what other business can you do? And you can involve your family. And here's the last thing I would say on that topic. And that is, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so when Mike and I were first together and got married, I was working for a cell phone company, AT&T now, it used to be Singular. And so I worked there part-time while we were building our business. How great is that? That you can even do that, right? That's what I love about network marketing. But the key to it was when I was there, they didn't want spouses. They didn't want kids. I mean, I didn't have kids at the time, but they didn't want it. It was not talked about. Your spouses weren't invited to things. Your kids weren't invited. But here, we want the spouses involved. You know, even Sophie last year, I'll give an example really quick. And we try to involve her in everything. Like if you're reading a book, let her read with you. I mean, even when we do that stuff, we read with her. We let her know. We explain stuff to her, and they'll ask a lot of questions. And guess what, ladies? It's not comfortable to answer all those questions. It's a wear out. You don't want to answer every question about money and why you pay tax and why you do this and that. But you know what? That's our job. Our job's to teach them, right? So last year there was the cruise. It was last year, right? I've not slept. It was last year. And before the cruise, there was a Ruby promotion going on. Mm-hmm. And Sophie Bay came in and she goes, "Mama, are you Ruby?" And I said, "What? What are you talking about?" You know, and she's like, "Are you and Dad a Ruby?" And I said, "No, we're not a Ruby. Are you bigger than a Ruby?" And I go, "I don't know," something like that. "Well, am I a Ruby?" And I said, "Why are you asking, baby girl?" And she goes, "I really want to go on that cruise." She said, "I want to go on that cruise with you guys." Because she feels part. That's the difference. She felt part. And I said, "Baby girl, you can't go on that cruise because you're not 18 years old yet." And she said, "Well, I'm just as much part of it works as you and Daddy are." So you got to understand that when you let your kids be part, they want you to succeed. Paid for. They want to see you achieve. Man, your kids will be your biggest cheerleaders if you'll just let them.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, no. Sorry.
That was good, though. That was really good. Balance, life. What more do you need to hear? Just go. Take some action.
Action. I love that, Mike. And I love what you said, even with just Brianne and I, we decided to be accountability partners on at Surf and Turf. And she came to me because I probably would have been like, no, I'm good by myself, but no, but it was good. But I love what you said about, you can, even at the beginning about, you can just post, you can get out there and you can engage, or you can message people. Like, I just think that's so huge, about just like engaging and doing that. And it just made me think of yesterday. Brianne was like, okay, this is a really great post, a post where, you tell someone to post a GIF under it and you'll message them about getting a free box of wraps. Well, I posted it and I'm like, wait, I'm not going to message all these people. Like, that's so weird. They're going to think I'm weird. Like, but I posted and started having people and I'm like, wait, are you really messaging? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, wait, what? I don't want to message them. And like, they think they're getting a free box of wraps. She's like, well, they are. Like, we sell things. Yeah, message them. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, my armpits were sweating. And I'm like, these people probably think, they're getting a free box of wraps. And I like don't want to, okay, I'm going to just do it. And then she's like, suck it up. You're not going to go double ambassador, doing what you've always done. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to message. But I did it. And yeah, because they are getting a free box of wraps. Like, in my head, I can think, oh, well, they're, they are. I'm telling them about ordering, getting a free box. What happens? I sign 2 LCs on the spot with a list of potentials. But had I just done the post, so you get the credit for that, Bree. Thanks for those 2 points. But so I got 2 LCs from the one post. But my whole thing is, it's so true. Had I just posted and hoped people came to me, like, it takes getting out there. It takes what you guys said, the engagement. And so I think that's huge. And that's what you control. You can control your efforts and what you're doing. So I love it. I love it all. Do you have anything?
No, I just would say to the team, like, when we got to spend time with Mike and Tiff, we were going to surf and turf and then spending time with them. And like, even in our heads as your ambassador leaders right now, we were kind of like searching, like, what are we missing as leaders? And, we were complicating it, and we get like all this knowledge poured on us, but we walk away with like one thing. And the one thing is get back to work. Like, that's all it came down to. Like, we're thinking about how do we motivate this team, and how do we, get the people who have been with us in the start remotivated, and look at our 2.0. And we like, after a hot tub session with the Potillos, we walked away and like, we complicate this business. And I think whether you've been in it 1 week or, with us 3.5 years next month or whatever it is, like, they're giving us every tool possible. Like, Mike, we've never done anything like, I know in the last 3.5 years, It Works has never done like this point system and just giving out Benjamins left and right, like for just doing your job. Like you said, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've ever done.
Not like this. Not at all. No.
Like this. And then, promotions on top of that. So what they're doing is they're literally setting us up with everything we need to just go do our job. And I think that's what we need to take away from tonight is I'm more excited for 2018 than I've ever been in this business. And that's hard to say because, that year we went ambassador, that's a pretty exciting year, but I just feel like something's coming. But I do think, how we finish this month and then how we go into the end of 2017, you're either going to reap great come January and February, or you're going to look back and have regret. And I don't want this team to have regret. And it just comes to taking these promotions and really simplifying the business and getting back to work.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Promotions are bank money, right?
Oh, that's good.
You don't live on the money you make in promotions. Yeah. Promotions are money you pay off debt with. You pay cash for Christmas with. If you get a bonus, if you get this, you bank that. You live on your fast starts and your residual check. And here's what I'll tell you, based on what John just said, next year is going to be remarkable. It's almost like, what's the guy? Men's Warehouse. He goes, I never bought a suit from there, but I love his commercials because the end of Men's Warehouse commercials, he always says, I guarantee it. That you'll like my suit or something like that. It stuck with me, sticks with me all these years. I remember commercials that are important, that have good marketing. And his line is, I guarantee it. Here's what I'll say. If you'll put in the work, I guarantee 2018 will be the best year we'll have in It Works. Because what we're doing right now, all the promotions that John just talked about with the points, and then you layer on top of that the Black Friday, Cyber Mondays that we've just had, they all feed the comp plan. They're not outside of the comp plan. They're not just extra over here, all the way over here. They're inside the comp plan to feed new loyal customers, to build qualified legs, to build executives, to build rubies, 3 rubies, there's a diamond. Boom, do it again. Now you're making more leadership bonuses. Everything feeds the plan. And it's one of those things that you've got to look at. So many times our business, they say it's a pyramid, right? Oh, it's the top down, people on top. No, everything builds up from the bottom. The reason that we have these promotions, the reasons we have all these things going on is because we're feeding people. No matter if you're John, Sherry Lynn, Breanne, Pamela, Stephanie, Mackenzie, Kelsey, Victoria, doesn't matter what rank you are, top or bottom, these promotions feed from the bottom up to give everybody out there that hears about it works an opportunity to say yes. Yes, I want to be a loyal customer. Yes, I want to buy something. Yes, I want to take advantage of promotion. Yes, I want to be a team member. And that feeds the compensation plan that pays you a lot of money. And what you got to do is be a good steward of that and be consistent with that. Take today and tomorrow. Take advantage of these promotions. And then go all out the last day. Don't say, oh, well, there's not a BOGO. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Slap you at the head right now. There's not a BOGO. Who cares? You got the greatest instant result product in direct selling history, period. Find me another one. I dare you. Right? Find me one. What? Detergent? A weight loss pill? A patch that doesn't even work? Come on. I mean, you have the greatest product that in 45 minutes people can visually see the results. Get out there and sell it. You say, well, I don't sell really good. Don't sell it. Just ask people, hey, would you like to tighten, tone, and firm and see results in 45 minutes? And then stick it on their stomach and then wait 45 minutes and look at them awkwardly and then take a before picture, take an after picture, and you can get results. You got to have a little intensity. You got to have a little action. You got to take it. But all of this feeds the compensation plan. If you'll focus the next 2 days and use the promotions, you know what you do the last day of the month? It's the last day of the point promotion. It's the last day for you to be able to go out and get that $100 bonus. Now, you can enroll a new person and they have 30 days, but your 30 days are over because you're not a newbie anymore, right? So you've got today, tonight, tomorrow, the next day to go out and earn points and get that $100 to pay off some debt, to pay cash for Christmas. That's not just to pay the light bill, right? Your fast starts, your retail, your rack cash should pay the light bill. You got to be paying off debt with these extra bonuses. And then the first couple weeks of December, I want you to go all out focused on new distributors. Because as you do that, and then we get into the end of December, you're going to be set up for an amazing January. So many people start to slow down in December. You know what we used to do? Man, we'd speed up because you'd slow down. And there's more people to talk to, more people saying yes to us. Again, this is years ago. We were in the field building. That's how we beat people. Because when they slowed down, we sped up. And I think that's the mentality. If you'll have that the next couple days and you'll go up and you'll go all out, December is going to be a great month after you come out of an awesome November. And then January, hold on. And when you come to conference in February, watch out. And here's all I'll say. I just looked at the top 100. I wasn't being rude. I was looking at the most updated top 100. And Breanne, you actually got a shot to beat John and Sherry Lynn. So just a little friendly competition.
Between accountability partners.
Yeah, keep yourselves accountable and competitive as well. It's always a good thing.
2018 is being built now.
That's right. That's a great line right there. Wow.
I missed it. I was laughing. I was laughing.
Repeat that.
Say it.
What?
I was laughing at
Here, honey, I'll let you say it. Go for it.
2018 is being built right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not building it, you're not building your checks for 2018. It's being built right now.
I love it. Thank you guys for having us on.
Thank you.
Guys, thank y'all so much. It's not every day that the leadership of the company in their own home hops on with the team, and we love you guys. We don't take it for granted or take your time for granted. We really genuinely appreciate it. And
didn't I do a good job decorating the Christmas tree?
Hey, that looks pretty. Woo.
I have multiple talents.
It looks good.
Yeah. I didn't do anything.
I did not do that.
I did not do that.
Decorate outside.
I did decorate outside, but the lights are off because I'm sometimes lazy to plug it in.
He's working on that balance.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll send you a timer, Mike.
I have 2 of them. I can't figure out how to program it.
Oh, well,
Thanks, guys.
We love you guys. Okay,
Love
you guys. Have
See you
a great
soon.
night.
Good night.